Brianna's Bananas Cooking Show. Here we go! Hello everybody, it's Brianna. Today, what I'm going to make for you is Instapot pot roast pot pie. So that's exciting, right? The other day, it was probably a week or two ago, I made pot roast in it for the very first time, and it turned out really good. So I thought I would go off of that, take a step further, and make a pot pie out of it this time. So hopefully that turns out good. So what I got some chuck roast. Just a pound. Actually, it's a 1.7 pounds. Chuck roast. That's what we're starting with. We got some red potatoes. We got an onion. I got some carrots. If you want, you can get a little bit of celery. I thought to brighten it up, instead of celery, I could get some green onions and a little bit of parsley. Of course, some garlic. For seasonings, we got some beef broth, balsamic vinegar, Worcestershire, some of this Lowry's, some pepper. I forgot tomato paste, so I brought ketchup instead, so hopefully that doesn't do me wrong. And I got some little pie tins. I wasn't sure how much of quantity I was gonna have, so I just brought both of these. We might make one, we might make two. I might not have enough crust for two, we'll see. I also have pie crust. I debated making my own pie crust, but you know, I'm not much of a crust maker, I guess. I just thought I'd make it easy. Since we're already making a whole pot roast type of thing, make it a little bit easier, get your own crust, and then we'll bake it from there. Alrighty? And then I have my Instapot over here off camera. So get your Instapot ready, get your oven ready, get your knife and chopping board ready. And let's get started. So let me get my apron. Wait a second. Let me try again. Nothing. Let me try one more time. Okay, worked that time. Now that we got our apron on, let's get started. This video is sponsored by Vosteed. If you've been looking for a kitchen knife that is above your average bargain chef knife, but is not going to break your budget, look no further than the Vosteed Morgan Series 8-inch chef knife. Vosteed reached out to me and sent me this beautiful knife, and I am in love. It has functionality, cut through your vegetables, herbs, and meat like it's butter. It is well made and balanced. It is going to stay super sharp if well kept. Vosteed also makes different sizes of knives, serrated knives, cleavers, even pocket knives, and a rolly bag for you to store and travel with your knives. I may have to get the rest of the set for myself. Click on my link below and check out their knife selection. Right now, using my code MorganAF10, you can get $10 off an already decent priced Morgan 8-inch chef knife with free shipping and free returns. And it does help out me and this channel if you click on my link in the description. Okay, so now that we've chopped everything up with my wonderful new knife that I got sent, I have my beef here. I have my Instapot here. I have a little bit of vegetable oil in my Instapot. I'm gonna turn this on saute. Give it just 1 second to turn on. Now it's on. I'm gonna sprinkle this with some seasoning salt. I have Lowry's today. You use whatever seasoning salt is your favy. I was gonna use my roasted garlic and beer seasoning, but I use that all the time, so I thought I would switch it up with the Lowry's. Okay, season your beef. I'm gonna throw it in here. It's not exactly hot yet, but it will be in just a minute. Just a slight minute. So I'm gonna brown up this meat and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I only sear the outside of the meat. You don't have to cook it all the way right now. I'm gonna sear it to get all that flavor. Take this all out, put it in here. Take my onions. Take a little bit of garlic. Actually, let me stir up these onions first. Woo! So fresh. Let those cook a minute. We'll add a little bit of garlic. So, story time. When I was in high school, I did this program called Skill Center, and it was like special classes that you could take, like specialty classes, like you could learn to be a police officer, or like learn to be a mechanic, or learn to be a cook. And I took the cooking class, and one day, this was back when I had a no red meat eating phase. I didn't like to eat red meat, but in class, they had me cut up a giant piece of red meat, and I was not having it at the time. And the same day, there was like some people from the newspaper, the local newspaper, taking pictures of us, making little stories, and they saw me cutting up the big chunk of meat. They were like, "How's that going?" I was like, "I absolutely hate this right now because I'm not into red meat." And they're like, "Oh, really?" And they got like really into me at that point. And I was cutting up the meat. They were getting me. I looked up right at the right moment when they took a picture, and I had this like disgusted look on my face. I don't know how they got that look on my face, but it was like just the right moment. I looked disgusted with a big chunk of meat, and that was the picture they used to put on the front page of the local paper. So that was pretty awesome. I think that was the only time I was on the front page of a paper. And it was a terrible picture of me. So anyways, these onions are getting pretty good. Let's give them like 30 more seconds, and then I'm going to throw this meat back in. Once they start to turn a little bit clear, which is about now. So I'm going to put this back in here, all the juice and everything. And turn this off. Add my can of beef broth, low sodium beef broth, so you can control the salt and everything. A little bit of balsamic. like a tablespoon. Same with the Worcestershire. Tomato paste, like a half can, or if you don't have that, it's just a squirt some ketchup in here. Give it a little stir. Okay, make sure you got everything in the pot. Put the lid on, make sure it's on sealing. Turn it on manual. I'm gonna crank it up to 60 minutes. Kitty, no, don't eat my potatoes. 60 minutes, and then when that's done, we're gonna pull out the meat, and then we're gonna cook our potatoes and carrots for a few minutes. Shred the meat while that's going, and then a little cornstarch slurry will tighten up the gravy in there, and then we'll put together our pot pie. Okay, so I'll be back in an hour. Okay, we're here with our pie crust. I still have like 18 minutes on my Instapot, so we're still waiting on that. I'm preheating my oven to 400. Got a little bit of flour on my board, and we're gonna figure out this crust. I got 2 packages. Let's unroll this. Let's see what we got. Let me do this type of thing. Whoop. Okay. I'm gonna fit this to my pan. I'm gonna scoot it a little bit. And then we're gonna kind of roll the ends of this up. I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna roll up the ends, the loose ends. Be very careful, delicate. And then I'm gonna take my fingers and I'm gonna do this type of thing. And we're gonna make it all pie crusty, if you know what I mean. So I did the whole edge. Whoop. So there's the bottom. And now that I know there's only 2 little pie crust thingies, I'm gonna save this one for the top. And we're gonna attempt to lattice the top. We'll see how that goes. And I'm gonna par bake this for like 5-10 minutes so it doesn't get all soggy when I put the insides in. So I'm gonna come back in just a second. Okay, we're back here. This has been releasing itself for 6 minutes now, so I'm gonna do this. Scariest part. It smells good, it smells beefy. And let that release all the way before you open it. For the love of God, do not open it while it's cooking because it's going to explode on you. So just let it do its thing. Let it release a little bit naturally by itself and then release it. Got my potatoes and my carrots ready. This is pretty much done releasing. I can see you in the background.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay. Open this up. Alrighty. beef is really tender, so I'm gonna take it all out. Ooh, it's still sizzling. It's kind of falling apart on me. Oop. So like, just get most of it out. You're just gonna cook it for longer, so like it'll just be more tender if you leave it in there. Let me show you a little bit. Just like falling apart. So, let me cancel this. Put my potatoes and carrots in here. Just get it all even. And then stick that bad boy back on. And then we're gonna cook it for literally 3 more minutes. If you want, you can do 4. Well, I'm just gonna do 3 because it's gonna be in that pie also. We're gonna keep cooking it. So it's gotta sit here and like pressurize. So it's gonna be a couple minutes for that. But then it'll be 3 minutes. Let it depressurize for a couple minutes. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so I got my potatoes and carrots in here. It's been releasing 5 minutes. And then I pressure released it the rest of the way. So they should be pretty cooked. Oh yeah. It's pretty amazing how fast that is. Like 3 minutes. So I have like a teaspoon, it was like a spoonful of cornstarch and like the same amount of water, mixed them together. And I'm gonna pour some in here. Mix it up until this gravy gets a little bit thicker. I don't know, maybe I'll do just like a teensy bit more. We just kind of want to get it thick enough so it's not like super runny in your pie, but it's like gravy consistency. So I think that's pretty good. You guys can't see, but I can see. It looks pretty good. So stick our meat here, crumble it up. It's pretty tender, so this, just doing this is like breaking it up. You don't have to get it perfect or anything, just like make sure all the chunks are broken up. Stick this all back in here. Stick in this, my green onions and my parsley. It's all to your taste, however much you want. Get this all stirred together. This is looking really good, so I'm gonna get you a close-up. So, stick this back in here. All my baker friends are gonna laugh at me now. My pie crust sank in a little bit while I was trying to pre-bake it. So just be careful. Don't let it sink all the way. Try to push it back up a little. That's what we got. Got our crust, got our filling. Let's fill it up. Try not to put too much, but like just enough to fill up your pie, have a good amount. So you can put the top crust on and it meets the other crust. So I cut up my little pieces, they're right over here. up my pie pieces. Let's take some of these. And then instead of going like over and under and all that, just like put it on top and make it easy for yourself. Okay. And an easy way to cut those up was with a pizza cutter. It just rolls on through. So, got my nice little pot pie here. I'm gonna stick it in the oven. I think it takes about 15-20 minutes. So we're gonna see what that does, and I'll be back. Okay, without destroying it, let me show you. It's a lovely pie. And we're all gonna scoop some up and try it.
Meat pie.
Gonna meat pie. You want some meat pie?
Did you already cut it? You didn't cut it.
No, just like scoop it.
Just like a glob of it?
Yeah.
Okay. They don't fling it everywhere. Slapping it. There's that.
There's no really good way to get this out of the pie thing. It's gonna be kind of sloppy.
And I'm only having a small bite, not because I don't like it. I'm not doing beef this week.
He's on a beef diet.
Beef diet, so I only get like 2 bites.
It's not beef only diet, it's no beef diet.
No beef diet.
We've been eating this pot roast off camera. And it's super good. So now we're gonna try it with this crust. I cooked it for like 16 or 17 minutes in the oven. It's nice and flaky and brown. Oh, it's got that nice pot pie effect.
Potatoes are good in it too.
Yeah, those potatoes are perfectly cooked. So are the carrots. It's not like runny or anything. As we tighten up the gravy.
Pretty good.
And if you want, you don't have to make a whole pie. You can just eat the pot roast, you know?
Yeah. Where's that table?
Get some bread or some crackers or something.
Like swipe it in there.
Anything else you guys want to say about it?
Very good. I love Popeye. Very good.
Tender.
Super tender. Popeye's really good if you do it right. If there's not a lot of like fat and stuff.
Yeah, like if someone doesn't know how to cook it right.
Wink, wink. You know.
Yeah, I wonder who that comes
You know
from.
who you are. So, anyways, we're gonna eat the rest of this. Probably not the rest of that pie right now, but
So then we're gonna eat the rest of this.
we're gonna eat some more of this pie probably because it's super good. So I hope you try it for yourself.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching as always. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we're almost to 100 subscribers, so let's get there.
Woo!
And I'll see you next week with another video.